Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. When I worked out, what was my favorite body part to work out? I did not have a favorite body part to work out. I didn't favorite my body parts. Oh, my left delt was my favorite body part to work out. What are you talking about, man? Ay, ay, ay. I did all exercises. I did the curls, right? I did the bench press, squats. I did the... I'm trying to remember exactly which ones I did and which ones I didn't do. I did a ton. Like, I did a ton of different exercises back then, actually. Oh, the one where you bend over, you just have the one arm coming up like this, and you alternate. I did those. I did a whole bunch of exercises. Because I told you, my dad, in the basement of our house, he had a whole weight set. And he had all these posters of exercises and things. So I just basically did those based on... He showed me the basics. And I would just basically do that stuff. And I buffed up like crazy. I was actually drinking those whey protein smoothie things. I would buy them from like GNC, and I would take that, and I would be working out, and I buffed way up. Like, I'm no exaggeration, I had no muscles at all when I was in high school. I was just like a string bean, zero muscles. This arm, I know you laugh at, oh, you don't have a big muscle now, right? I don't have a big muscle now, but you see the muscle I have? I had nothing. This was like a twig, like zero muscle to my arm at all in high school. And then when I worked out, I ended up getting muscle. And I kind of retained some of that over the years. I still have the little muscle I have is because I worked out. And it's good that I kind of kept it because, like I said, I was so effing skinny in high school. And then after that, I buffed up. Did working out cause my back issues? No, no, no. I had my back issues came much later. My back issues came in the late 2000s. I was working out, you know, hardcore for like 1 to 2 years in the early 2000s. Yes, I experienced physical bullying and intimidation when I was in high school, constantly. In reality, that's one of the reasons that actually convinced me to start working out. Because I was so skinny in high school that I said, man, maybe if I actually worked out and started buffing up and I could defend myself, then people wouldn't bully me around. And that's when I started buffing up, and I gained, no exaggeration, I probably gained like 20 pounds of muscle just by working out. You know, I was a super skinny dude. Did working out end up making a difference with bullies? Yeah. Like, again, this was my early 2000s. So, you know, I was in my, like late teens, early 20s. I went from being the guy who was bullied in school to the guy who everyone just stayed the fuck away from. Like, no one wanted to mess with me because I actually had, like, buffed up a bit. And they were like, oh, shit. You know? Let's stay away from it, you know? Like, seriously. Like, and those are, like, kind of those early days of me, early 2000s, traveling around playing Street Fighter. And, you know, then I became an asshole. Then I became like a big-headed asshole talking shit online, probably as a result of buffing up a bit and working out. And I thought I was hot shit, right? So here I am talking shit online constantly to everyone under the sun about Street Fighter, and it was really stupid. I shouldn't have done that. If I just worked out, would I have done gym vlogs? No, I would not have done gym vlogs. That's so silly. The thing about exercise is, for me anyway, when I got into exercise, once you get past the hurdle of making it a regular part of your schedule and the initial weeks to months of it kind of being painful because you're not used to doing it, once you get past that and it becomes a regular part of everything, it's actually good to do. It's fun to do. Like, you start to get addicted to that feeling that they call the burn, right? You start to burn in your muscle, and it's, oh, I like that feeling. I like the feeling of it's burning, and now it's healing and building up more protein and everything. It feels good after a while. You just have to get used to it. Most people just, they're lazy, complacent. They're not used to exercise. Once you get used to it, it actually feels fun and good. It's something you want to do. You desire the next workout. But you have to get to that point, and a lot of people can't get past that initial hurdle, right? Like right now, I know if I had time to get into a regular workout routine, I would very enjoy it. I know I would. I've done it times in my life. I actually really like working out. It's fun. And again, you can do things. You can like listen to videos or, you know, listen to music while you're doing it. So it's not even like you're just doing dedicated to that. You can do other things you find pleasurable while you're working out. There's, you know, it's fun, but you got to get to that point where you have my problem right now is time. If I wanted to regularly work out, I really don't have the time to regularly work out because I'm working so much. Don't be fooled by people who are trying to impersonate others, okay? Alec91, 16 months as a member, said, what was your PRs for bench squats deadlifts? I don't know. I have to keep explaining. I weightlifted in the early 2000s, about 20 years ago. I don't have records. I have no recollection of any of the weights or reps or anything that I did 20 years ago. I have absolutely no fucking clue. I did not record that. I never fathomed, all right, that in the early 2000s, when I was in my early 20s, now I'm in my 40s, when I was in my early 20s, that 20 years later, there would be a stream of 400 people sitting here on a phantom site that didn't exist yet called YouTube, who would ask me my statistics for when I was working out back then. Also, if you want to know the truth, I don't see the point in recording and bragging about that shit. It's supposed to be your personal goals, your personal growth, your personal, you know? It's not about, oh, I gotta fucking share that with people on the internet to brag about it. I think that's silly, right? It's just funny because this is what happens when you're a public figure like this. I'll give you a perfect example. I'll tell you right now, there's something that's going to be coming up later this year, that documentary from JoonTheKing, okay? When he was making and working on the documentary about me, which, by the way, I think he's finished it. It's just that now it's getting, like, produced, like it's getting put together and edited and everything. So there were times when he would hit me up with questions, all right? And, like, here's an actual question he asked me. So where did you get the figure for the value of the PC that Chris Furtado made for you that you said was a lemon? He hit me with that question, and I'm like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. Like, I think I based it upon the fact that he originally had given me a quote, but then he kept hitting me up with the desire for more money over the development of the PC, and I had to keep sending him more money via PayPal. But you're asking me a question that applies to, like, 2010 in 2024. I don't remember. And unlike maybe him, I don't have any receipts. Like, I didn't save anything 14 years ago to prove what I spent on a PC. So you're making a documentary about me, about something that happened 14 years ago, and you're asking me a specific question. There's literally no way I could have any actual knowledge or evidence of anything that you're asking me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have detailed workout regimen information about workouts I did in the early 2000s. I never fathomed that in 2024 someone would ask me that question. When Chris Furtado was making me a fucking PC in 2010, number one, I probably never expected that it would have issues. And number two, I didn't think that it would be a big issue for people on the internet that I need to, like, document that information. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who would have thought in 2010 when I was just burgeoning, like becoming a prominent YouTuber, that years later, someone would ask me for the specifics of that? I have no idea, you know? So that's kind of sadly, the double-edged sword of being a public persona, is that you can talk about stuff, but how will you ever have justification of any of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have anything. How would I have evidence of anything that I say about these things? These are just stories I can tell you, but it's not anything that I can back up. How the fuck would I ever do that? No one ever thought that there was going to be a YouTube and YouTubers and live streamers and people, you know what I'm saying? And then people would question everything you say and want evidence of it. You know, maybe if I had known that, I would have literally documented every single possible thing that I ever did and had rooms full of fucking documents and receipts to back up every statement I ever made, right? But I don't have that. I don't have that. So, like, I know what's going to happen, right? Like, so when that documentary comes out later this year, it's just going to be a bunch of negative shit that people have said about me over the years, and just literally no way to defend myself to it. I'm like, I don't know. Either I say, yes, it definitely happened, I'm bad, that was my fault, or I literally don't remember, I can't tell you, right? So that's life, though. When you guys ask me these crazy questions about stuff from the past, I'm like, how could I possibly answer that, right? How? You know? It's funny. I remember years ago, people asked me about my school days, and I said, well, I was the valedictorian of both my elementary school and my high school. And everyone's like, Phil's too stupid to be valedictorian. There's no fucking way that he could possibly be valedictorian. Well, guess what they did? My trolls contacted my schools and actually asked specifically, was he valedictorian? And apparently they looked it up and answered, yeah, he is. He was. He's in the yearbook. We have the yearbook. Yeah, he was the valedictorian. But that's what I mean. People actually, like, oh, they don't believe anything I say. Everything's a lie. We need corroboration on everything Phil says. Like, geez. Guys are brutal, vicious people on the internet. Noct says, didn't you have a chance to defend yourself with the Mike Klum doc but turned it down? How exactly? Again, like, let's say I did the Mike Klum documentary. So you got someone from back in the day, let's say it was someone from the Street Fighter community, who would come out and be like, yeah, darksydephil was an asshole, he did this and this. So what would I do? I would either say, that's a lie, or that's true. How would I prove it? How do you prove something that happened 20 years ago that no one documented? There's no video back then of anything. It's a bunch of people typing on forums. It's a bunch of people in chat rooms that weren't backed up. And it's things that happened in real life in tournaments that weren't recorded. So how would you actually what's the point? It's like, okay, this guy said something bad about me. Man, that's not true, right? You're training chest and triceps today, Dan man? That's great. I don't really care. Congrats on that and good luck. All right, are we ready?
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.